What's up YouTube? I'm Melanie Morrison, personal trainer. What's up YouTube? I'm Melanie Morrison, personal trainer. Hey you. What's up YouTube? I'm Melanie Morrison, personal trainer and nutritionist. Get over here. What's up YouTube? I'm Melanie Morrison, personal trainer and nutritionist, and today we're going to talk about must-haves for starting a workout routine. So these are things that are going to help you keep you motivated. These are things that are going to help you keep on track and help with your progression. So the first one on the list is clothing and shoes, and it may sound kind of silly being the first thing on the list, but it is very helpful to have clothing that you feel good in, you feel comfortable in when you're in an environment that you're new to. Keywords being comfortable and confident. We're not going to the gym to dress to impress. Well, some of us are, but most of us are there to work and reach our goals. So that can mean finding colors that work for you, finding certain fits that work for you, and there's tons of clothes out there that are very comfortable and they cover everything. You don't need to feel uncomfortable when you're moving around, when you're doing your squats, pants that aren't see-through, tops that don't drape down, and you're not having to wear baggy, frumpy clothes. And this will help with your confidence in the gym too, because if you have no idea what you're doing, at least you'll look good doing it. Doing it. Lulu is one of my favorite brands because they have a good variety. They have lots of pants that are higher waisted and are not see-through, very comfortable to work out in, and plus they have crop tops that aren't actually showing your belly, but they have long sleeves, but they have sweaters, but they have tons of stuff for a good variety and all throughout the seasons. So if you are more on a budget, there are websites online like Shein that are actually really inexpensive and quality stuff. So here's a sneak peek into my wardrobe from stuff that ranges from being pricey to not expensive at all. So moving on to shoes, which are probably more important functionally than they are fashionably, are really great to have shoes that have a bit of a minimalistic sole so our feet can really feel the ground and really know what to do. We have proprioceptors on the bottom of our feet that give signals to the rest of our body, letting us know what we need to activate and engage. So by having a minimalistic sole, that gives your foot a chance to really sense to know what it's supposed to do. So if you're walking on shoes that are pretty much foam, your psoas is going to be like, glutes, you're up! And your glutes are going to be like, I didn't hear anything. Okay, so maybe not to that extent, but it definitely does help with your movement and muscle development. So here are some examples of some shoes you can have that have a more minimalist shoe. So Vivo is one of my favorites. As you can see, you can pretty much just fold it up and put it in your pocket. And then there's a more casual version, lots of casual versions actually. Same idea. And then if you are doing something that's more running or cardio involved, you want something that has a little bit of a thicker sole, but still that movement, and something like No Bulls does that. And if you are working out from home indoors, just ditch the shoes altogether. Really let your feet do the movement they're intended to do. And same thing goes for your wardrobe. Ditch the frumpy clothes and put on that workout gear that makes you feel good and you feel comfortable in. It kind of sets the tone and lets other people know in the house that it's time for you to work out. So the next one on the list is going in with a plan. If you do go into the gym without a plan, it can seem overwhelming. And if you're working out at home, it can be very distracting, especially if you have other people at home. So knowing what you're working on, how much time you have, what your energy is, it's all really important to create a plan for your workout. And this will enable you to have an effective workout so you're not just going in there for no reason. If your goals are more endurance, you will have more cardio or cardio movements in your workouts. Or if your goals are strength-based, then you will have more resistance training in your workouts. If you're someone who just has a short period of time, maybe something like an AMRAP would be more suitable for you because you can go in there and do maybe 2 AMRAPs for half an hour, have a good workout and get your sweat on. And also considering your energy, that's a big one too. If you didn't get much sleep the night before and you're gonna go in and do a big strength workout, you're really not gonna have an effective workout. So just kind of paying attention to that day by day, knowing exactly where your energy's at and incorporating that in your plan. And if you are someone who is completely new to the workout game, just going in and learning how to do certain movements will feel like a workout. Even though it's not a regular scheduled program, it will definitely feel like you're getting workout in because they're exercises you've never done before and you're activating muscles that you've never activated before. So it is really great to create a plan wherever you are, and this will help your progress with your goals. And speaking of getting comfortable with doing certain movements, it's also really important to know the equipment. So the next one on the list is know your equipment. Whether that's big machinery or bands or dumbbells, whatever it is, play around with it, get used to it, and get comfortable with it so that when you are working out, you'll know what you're doing. And there are tons of different types of equipment out there. So my suggestion to you is just start with the basics. Start with things that you can do basic functional movements with. So things like squats, lunges, push, pull. Those are basic movements that will really help your everyday life and give you a good foundation for your workouts. And one thing I really like to share with a lot of my clients is if you know what muscle groups you're working out when you're using certain pieces of equipment or doing certain exercises, you can do more intentional lifting. So you'll be mindful of those muscles when you're working out. And a more obvious reason of why you'd want to know the different types of equipment is to prevent injuries. Injury prevention, don't mind if I do. So I'll walk you through a couple exercises using different types of equipment, and hopefully it'll make you feel more comfortable using it. Alright, so we're going to use 2 pieces of equipment, each with 3 exercises. The first one is with just a strength band. I'm just using a red strength band. And the first exercise we will do are band tears. So you're going to hold the band with your palms facing down, squeeze your shoulders back and down, and pull the band apart, opening your chest, hold for 1 second there, and back to start. Another exercise that you can do is called the Pendulum Swing. So you're going to step on the band, feet hip width apart, and then you're going to cross the band so it makes a big X in the middle. And then you're going to hold the band just about elbow height, and you'll kick your foot out to the side, keeping your glutes nice and tight, core nice and tight, and keeping it nice and tall. And then the next exercise you can do are bicep curls. So again, stepping on the band, hip width apart, grabbing the sides of the band with your palms facing in, standing up nice and tall, keeping the core tight, shoulders back, and you're just going to pull all the way up to your shoulders and back down. The next piece of equipment, all you'll need are some dumbbells. And the first exercise we will do is a lunge. So a lunge, you're just going to step forward, core nice and tight when you're at the bottom of the lunge, and step back. Feet should be shoulder width apart as you step through. Really ground through your front heel and your big toe. And the next exercise is a squat. So we'll do a goblet squat. You're just going to hold it here in your palms, and it'll be right about your sternum, your chest height. Feet are going to be hip width apart or just a little bit wider, and you'll sit back into your squat, keeping your core nice and tight, and try to push your feet away from each other as you come up, and then squeeze your glutes at the top. The last exercise we will do is an overhead press. So you'll start out with your arms at 90 degrees, and you're going to brace your core, and you're going to press your dumbbell straight up towards the ceiling. So there you have it. Those are 2 pieces of equipment that you can use. They are in the gym and they are at home. They are very versatile and they're great for foundational exercises, so super important to know how to use them. The next one on the list is that you will mess up, and that's okay. And I've mentioned this in other videos because it's unlikely that you will have a seamless transition into a healthier lifestyle. There's so many different types of diets, there's so many different types of fitness, ways of working out, ways of eating. And with that being said, this is your process, and that's the fun part of it. When I started working out, I was eating cans of tuna and frozen vegetables thinking that was healthy.
Oh, gross.
Not healthy. So please don't do that. But in my mind, when I started out, I was eating protein and I was eating vegetables. But 10 years later, and I eat so differently now because I've gone through different types of diets, I've gone through different types of working out, different routines, and figured out what works best for me. And that is part of the process. And in those moments that you do mess up, that's a good thing because you're one step closer to figuring out your process and what works best for you. And with that being said, try different ways of eating, try different ways of working out, try to explore to figure out what works best for you, and along the way you'll find that sweet spot and find what works best for you. And the last one on the list is meal prep, and this one is super important because it's where you get your energy, it's where you get your nourishment, it's what helps you lose weight, what helps you not feel tired, it's what will make you feel overall better with your health. And first and foremost with this topic, just being able to meal plan and having your meals ahead of time goes such a long way because you don't need to think about it. You're less likely to eat those crappy foods or foods that aren't that great for you, and you have that nourishment ready for you either before you're working out or after you're working out. Something else to consider when you're meal planning is that what time of day you're working out. If you are working out earlier in the morning, then maybe you do need carbs in your breakfast. If you are working on the afternoon, which is kind of my sweet spot around 2 o'clock, then for lunch is when I have my carbs. And for the other 2 meals, I'm really just having good vegetables, protein, and fat. And one hack that you can kind of do that will at least help with your meal planning is just having a good foundation for a grocery list. If you have all those foods in your fridge, you're more likely to stick with meal planning, and it'll be a lot easier because you have all those nourishing foods already there. And let's be honest, most of us are not training for the Olympics or some kind of competitive sport, so just having 3 well-rounded meals throughout the day really goes a long way for your nourishment. It will help with your goals because you're not eating foods that you really don't need. And listening to your body goes a long way too when it comes to meal planning. If you are someone who maybe doesn't need a meal first thing in the morning before you work out, especially if you're one of those people that gets up at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning to work out, maybe just a bone broth would be sufficient enough for you to have that energy source right before you work out, and then you could eat a nourishing meal right after. So very important to listen to your body, to know what it needs, and you're not overfeeding yourself or you're not underfeeding yourself, and you're basically just providing 3 good nourishing meals throughout the day. So we'll step into the kitchen and I'll show you a couple hacks in the kitchen that will really help with meal prep. Alright, so some tools you can really use in the kitchen that will be really great for meal planning are things like an Instapot or a crock pot. Super easy, you can just throw a bunch of ingredients in the morning or at night, and it's done around dinner time or in the morning whenever you need it. And super handy, it's easy, 1 big pot and you have food for the rest of the week. Another one would be the type of containers that you use. So I personally like these rubber ones because they stack really well and they just fit in things very well. Or the other option is things like glass containers like that. So if you need to heat up your food, if you're taking it somewhere, going to lunch, that might be more useful for you, but I do prefer, I'm more personally a fan of these ones. So yeah, I really like this brand, easy to clean, very easy to stack, they're really great. And the other thing that I really like, it's easy for portion sizes. If you're doing like fat bombs or like little snack type things, it's really great for portion size, and they come in like either little cute designs, or you can do like muffin tins. Sometimes I honestly put my cookies in here because it's so easy. You can just throw it in the freezer, the fridge, doesn't matter. But yeah, I really like these silicone molds, they're very handy. Another one here that's super handy is a salad spinner, and it's so easy just to wash your lettuce at the beginning of the week when you do get your groceries, and then just to leave it here in the salad spinner. So these are simple things that you can get. None of them are expensive at all. And with your vegetables, I do recommend washing them the day that you do get them, so that when you are going to do meal planning or meal prepping, you have them ready there to go, and it takes way less time because everything's already washed. And one bonus thing I will add in here is actually this water bottle. So this water bottle is a new one, and it's so easy to keep track of your water. So for those who aren't really sure how much water they're drinking, this is a great way to keep track of that, or you don't even need to keep track of it because it keeps track of it for you and just lights up and lets you know when you need to drink more water. And it has an app that actually showcases how much water you've drank for the day. So super helpful, good, easy tip. So there you have it. Those are my suggestions for starting a workout routine. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at hungryelephant on Instagram or melanie.morrisonpt@gmail.com. And feel free to leave a comment below or like and subscribe if you want more content. And again, my name is Melanie Morrison.